Raids in nightclubs, gyms and universities. Potential conscripts are being hunted in Russia. They've also reached the students of the most prestigious Moscow University. Moscow State University student Andrey Lebedev was drafted into the army straight from a lecture. He studied for the government's budget without taking exams and is a full-time student at the Faculty of Philology of Moscow State University.
We see that each subsequent co-op is tougher than the previous one. We see that there are more raids. We see that rights are being violated. We see that all laws are a formality, unless they are repressive laws.
Students are given summonses in classrooms and on the streets. In Moscow, the military registration and enlistment office sent a master student who had received a deferment from the army to serve. He was detained on the street as a draft dodger.
They already issued him a uniform, shaved him and scheduled a medical examination, but there is nothing to hope for. Jan brought all the certificates on the diagnosis, as well as a certificate that he was a master student. The military commissar said he didn't care. They didn't let me enter the commissariat building. They kept me out by force. I called an ambulance because my son was feeling bad, and but the police didn't come. Mother of a Russian conscript from a message from the Telegram channel Moskvibe.
By law, students at Russian higher educational institutions have the right to a deferment from military service until the end of their studies. You just need to bring a certificate to the military registration and enlistment office, but they come up with various reasons not to issue deferment documents. 19-year-old Oleg Ivanov from the Rostov region, in his second year of technical school, went on academic leave and he went to work in Moscow. Security forces raided the hostel where he lived and, in fact, kidnapped the guy. Where he is now is unknown. Oleg's mother wrote a statement to the police about her son's abduction.
Oleg should not have been conscripted. He has a deferment until the end of June 2024. But this doesn't matter. Forced conscription itself is legal in Moscow. Elena Popova, human rights activist of the Conscientious Objectors movement, from a message from the Telegram channel Astra.
The hunt for potential mobilized or contract soldiers does not stop in the country either. Migrants and representatives of national minorities are especially vulnerable. Human rights activists of the Go by the Forest movement reported a police raid in the village of Verkhnya Selki near St. Petersburg. Several dozen Romani people were detained there. 20 of them were brought to administrative responsibility for violating order, and 35 detainees were given summonses.
There is a very aggressive campaign to attract more and more contract soldiers by placing billboards, putting all sorts of leaflets in post boxes promising a lot of money, thousands of millions of rubles, whatever you want. Just please come to the military registration and enlistment office and sign a contract. This is happening actively, but apparently does not bear any fruit.
In November 2023, activists of the Go by the Forest movement witnessed a record number of raids in Moscow, 73. They believe that there will be even more of them in the coming weeks. And after the pseudo-elections in the Federation, one can expect a sharp crackdown, right up to the announcement of general mobilization. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.